Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm here today with the second from last of the Major Arcana in my Learn Tarot series. I'm really quite excited to be getting to the end of the Major Arcana. I'm going to do today Judgment, and then in my next video the World, and I hope to upload both of those today. So we'll follow the same format as before. I shall tell you what Judgment means to me. We'll have a look at some of my different tarot cards, the Judgment card, and then I'll give you some questions that I hope will help if you want to sort of meditate or reflect upon the energy of the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is card number 20. I shall hold up a card here for you to have a look at. So the meaning of this card is really to do with rebirth, resurrection, to summon the past, to forgive it, to let go. This card is represented by fire and Pluto. Judgment advises us to face those bad memories or bad habits that we cling to heal them, and to recognise that the past is the past. Sorry, I'm making this card shake, aren't I? I'm going to put it down. It can also be said that this is a card of healing from an accident or an illness, as well as signalling sort of great transformation or renewal or change of any kind, really. It can sometimes be a hard card to read, as it often deals with very final decisions, with facing things that are painful. But nonetheless, the querent needs to make that decision and move on. I think there can be wonderful things around the corner if you face life realistically and trust in the process of life. So in its higher realms, this card is about forgiving ourselves and others, having an inspired vision, rebirth, having a sort of consideration of the whole picture or the whole picture of a situation. In its lower realms, this card is being unfair in conduct, being unkind, taking advantage, indecision, alienation, resisting really the path ahead, or fighting and resisting changes. So this card appears to let you know that everything inside you has changed, even if the external world hasn't caught up yet. So let's start off having a look at the very traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card. This is from the Radiant Wise tarot deck here, which I like very much. In this card we can see Archangel Michael, and he blows his horn, which is to wake up the people. And here we've kind of got a mum and a dad, or a man and a woman and a child, and I think that they really represent all of the different aspects of us, of our souls. Archangel Michael calls for transformational processes. I think this flag here represents peace. So yeah, I think that's about it for symbology in that card. As I said, it's about resurrection and rebirth. In the Book of Shadows, Volume 2, which is this deck here, we see a slightly different image here, really. To me, this card kind of represents asking for divine guidance. It's like this woman has built a little shrine here, and she's perhaps sat praying in front of her shrine. So this is about asking and listening for guidance to help you in your transformational process. It's important to act upon the advice that you're given. As I think that if you draw this card, really, whatever divine sort of inspiration you're given, it will transform your life. It's a transformational energy. So I think the message of this card is to stay focused and be open to the flow of life. Next up, we've got the Tarot of Oppositions, which is this deck here. And this card shows us the light and the dark aspects of the Judgment card. And again, I think we see Archangel Michael here. He's again calling forth a rebirth with his horn. And I don't know if you can see that here. I'm sorry about the shine off the card, but in its light attributes we can see here a new soul being born. This is a new energy, isn't it? This is a new baby, a new soul, a new life. But in its dark attributes here, I think we still see only death. We see the end rather than the beginning. So in its negative attributes, this is really, I think, about ignoring the call, staying stuck perhaps and fallen. What else have we got here? In the Cosmic Tarot, we've got again a very, very similar image. In this card, we've got 3 horns. I'm not really quite sure what that means, but the number 3, numerology wise, I didn't say that right, did I? Numerology wise, I think that might represent growth and creativity, and perhaps that's what these horns represent in this picture, is about waking up your latent sort of powers and talents, if we're thinking about growth and creativity. So yeah, I think that's probably what this is. This is about waking up your latent powers and talents. I've got my zombie tarot deck out again. I love this deck actually. It always shows you a very different sort of picture of tarot, really. So in this deck here, we can see that we've got to a point, really, haven't we, in this deck where there's a tough decision that needs to be made. Do you blow the world up? Do you drop the bomb? Do you blow all the zombies up and start again? Or do you not? So the question here, I suppose, is do you have what it takes to drop the bomb? In your own life, it would be, do you have what it takes? Do you have the courage to make the necessary changes that you need to leave the past behind? So this card would also be about being able to accept the consequences of your actions, being able to accept and face the consequences of your actions. There we go. And then the last card we've got here is from my Mary L tarot, which I'm still learning, I'm still using in my own practice. So I'm going to read from the book, but I think what we can see here really is a phoenix, isn't it, which really symbolically represents a transformational process going on. So let's have a look and see what the Mary L tarot has to say about the Judgment card. So what have we got here? Beneath the tree of knowledge of life and death in the garden of paradise, the first rose bush grew, and from that first rose a bird was born, his plumage exultant, his song enchanting, and his flight powerful. When Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and so became of the world of life and death, a spark fell from the cherub's sword onto the nest and set it on fire, consuming the beautiful bird's body with flame until he was ash. When the embers and bits of bone that were the corpse of the bird cooled, life began to congeal again within the aromatic sepulchre. I think that's how you pronounce that. and an apple appeared. Inside was a handsome worm, who in the shade grew into the likeness of an eagle chick, then a fledgling, and finally into the noble visage of an adult eagle. Then he was adorned with fiery feathers of crimson and violet, just as he was at the beginning, and brought radiantly back to fulfillment. The flesh of the phoenix is born again, wholly renewed. When the phoenix is old, grey-feathered and burdened with years, he again gathers a nest of spice and fragrant flowers at the top of the tallest tree and awaits his destiny again. The heat of the sun kindles the pyre and engulfs the house and the bird in flame. Then in the dust he is born again, young and clean and full of grace, he rises from the ash. So the card Judgment lies beyond the sun and the moon. It is beyond the judgment of good and evil, life and death. Here all symbols come together. The tree of life, the caduceus, I can never pronounce that word, Caduceus, caduceus, I think is that. I know what it is, I just can't say it. Kundalini, Macabre, Hecalot, Spine, Zodiac, Tarot, the three pillars of black and white, and the reconciliation merge, and the wings of the great eagle unfold. The eagle, which is the symbol of God's power on earth, the lightning sun and son of God, is our full potential realised, completed, mixed, merged, and reborn. And in the spirit, this eagle is the phoenix, living immortally beyond the life and death of the body, which is regularly shed like skin. What else have we got here? In the traditional judgment card, an angel calls forth the dead from the graves on Judgment Day, and the angel is Metatron. As I said before, I think in some theories of tarot, this angel is Michael, but in this deck here, she's calling the angel Metatron. The people rising from their graves are the worm in the earth, and the crustacean rising from the black water. What else have we got here? Metatron pulls his cloak tightly around his flesh and offers you the rose-coloured phoenix egg, the philosopher's stone, or Metatron's cube, which is the universe contained in a shell. You, the fool, at the start of your journey, put it into your bag, quite ignorant of its significance, and off you go. Innocence and experience has become one, then separate again. The eon has ended and begun. So this card in its upright position means rebirth and resurrection after annihilation, life after death, reincarnation, reinvent, rebrand, restart, good judgment and discernment, and redemption. And in its darker attributes, in its reverse attributes, this can mean repeating past mistakes over and over, a stalled evolution and advancement, reserve or withholding judgment, bad judgment, and no redemption. So as you can see, this card is significantly more complicated and full of symbology and esoteria than some of the others that I've shown you, which is why I'm still learning about this deck. So, if we were interested in this judgment card as a card for shadow work or to aid us in our self-reflection, we might ask questions such as, what new realization is transforming you? Have you faced and forgiven the past and your own demons? In what ways can you make your life feel more meaningful and authentic? And can you trust in life and the process to know that you are exactly where you are meant to be? So that is, what new realization is transforming you? Excuse me. Have you faced and forgiven the past and your demons? In what ways can you make your life feel more meaningful and authentic? And can you trust in life and the process to know that you are exactly where you are meant to be? So there we go. That's the Judgment card. I hope you found that helpful, and I shall be back in the next video with the last card of the Major Arcana, the World card. So I shall see you there. Thank you.